All right, guys, this video is how to play pop chords. The first question you need to answer is, what is a chord? That's not a stupid question. I know musicians might know what that is, but when you first start, it can be confusing with the music terminology. So a chord is just multiple notes played at the same time. So C is not a chord. C and G is a chord. Most people don't think of this as a chord, but it's called a power chord even. So the second question is, what is the foundation of every chord? And it's the root. So the root is the bass note, the bottom of the chord. So if we're in the key of C major, meaning all white keys, and we want to play a C major chord, that's made up of 3 notes: C, E, and G. The root is C. The next question is, what is pop harmony based on? It's actually based on what I just played for you. It's called the triad, meaning 3 notes. The triad is made up of the root, third, and fifth. Let's look at the most common chords in the key of C major. So we have one right here, 1, 3, 5, C major. Another one, F, A, C. The 4 chord, or F major. The 5 chord, G major, also 1, 3, 5. And then A minor, A, C, E, all white keys. So let's play all those together. Try to play along if you can. I'm going to play them slowly. Nice, you made your first chord progression. The best way to think about this chord progression is not by the letter names, but in the numbers. You might have noticed me saying the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and etc. All major keys have the same sound, even though they're made up of different pitches. Let me give you an example. I just played for you C major. Awesome. So what if I played B flat major? It started on a different note, but see how it kind of had the same sound to it? So how can this be? It's not the pitches themselves that make up the scale, but the intervals between the notes that make us think major versus minor versus dominant. If this is a confusing point, that's totally normal. It can be confusing to start out, but just think of it this way. A C major scale is made up of whole steps and half steps. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. A whole step is 2 half steps. B flat has the same sequence of whole steps and half steps. Whole step, half, whole, half. That's why it sounds similar even though it's a different pitch. So we can use numbers instead of chord names to help us think about different progressions. The next chord progression we're going to play is a 1, 4, 5, and 6. And it's really the same one we just showed you. This time we're going to play it in the key of B flat major. The chords that I just played were B flat, E flat, F, and G minor. Now I'm going to play it in C major. Without thinking too hard, you might have noticed that those sounded pretty similar, even though they were in different keys. So before, I played them like this. But now I'm playing them like this. So what's the difference between the two? I could also play it like this. What I did there is used inversions to use smooth voice leading. Voice leading is just making smooth transitions between the notes. If you play this chord progression in root position, you get this awkward disjointed movement between C major and then F major. You make this huge jump. And I prefer to play it this way. See how smooth that is? We take our G and E and move up. And that's voice leading. Inversions are based on the fact that you understand the notes in the chord. So a C major chord can be expressed in different ways. You can have a C on the bottom, E on the bottom, or a G on the bottom. The notes in a C major chord are C, E, and G. And you can change the order in any way you like. There's 3 different combinations. So the first example, I was playing C second inversion, F first inversion, G first inversion, and then root position A minor. Now that you have that down, what exercise could you do? So one exercise that would be helpful is taking a chord like C major. You got your right hand down, now use your left hand. Play the inversions like this. See if you can follow me using your wrist action. Two octaves up and down. Try to do this for the different chords in that progression. So that's how you play inversions. Now you still might be wondering, why are playing inversions important? Don't they just sound fine in root position? Well, yes and no. You can play it in root position, but it's really important that you understand that you've got more options. Chords sound really rich and full when you're around middle C. If you get up here and you try to play everything in root position, it just doesn't sound quite as smooth. So if you want to kind of stay on track of your harmonies and try something different with your playing, it really does help you sound a little bit more advanced. And not that you have to sound more advanced, but that's probably not the best word for it. It's more that it just makes you sound more smooth in your harmonies. So if you have questions about inversions, I'd love to help out in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe as well. Good luck.